check, check, check. proceedings of this inaugural session. May I request the audience to kindly direct their attention to the screen for the ICISD'2026 introductory video. Can we have the video, please?
Launch of MBA program, VITAP School of Business. We are delighted to announce the launch of the MBA program at VITAP School of Business, a forward-looking initiative designed to shape future-ready leaders in a rapidly evolving global business environment. Admissions to the MBA program are through the VIT Business School Entrance Examination, VITBEE 2026, scheduled to be held on May 3rd, 2026. Applicants may also apply using ValidCap/XAT/MAT scores. Last date for submission of applications, 12th April 2026.
Thank you. I now request Honorable Vice Chancellor, our Chief Guest and Guest of Honor, Dean VSB and the conveners to please take the seats on the dais. Good morning. Distinguished Chief Guests, esteemed Guest of Honor, respected Vice Chancellor, eminent academicians, industry leaders, research scholars, and dear students, a very good morning. As the convener of 5th International Conference on Innovation and Sustainable Business Practices in the Digital Era, ICISD'2026, it gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished Chief Guest, esteemed Guest of Honor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, members of the academic fraternity, industry leaders, research scholars, and students who have gathered here from across institutions and geographies. ICISD is a deliberate convergence of inquiry and impact. At a time when digital acceleration is redefining markets, institutions, and the public systems, this forum seeks to examine how innovation can remain ethically anchored and sustainability can be economically viable. Over the next 2 days, scholarship will meet stewardship and ideas will be tested against responsibility. To formally commence this inaugural session, it is my privilege to invite Dr. Arun Kumar Shivakumar, Dean of the ITAP School of Business, to deliver the welcome address. Under his visionary leadership, the school has undergone remarkable progress in academics, research, and student engagement. His strategic direction and unwavering commitment to excellence have strengthened the academic framework, enhanced research output, and cultivated a dynamic learning environment. Notably, this momentum has culminated in the successful launch of MBA program, further elevating the ITAP School of Business to new heights of academic distinction. Sir, I request you to address the gathering.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, distinguished delegates, respected colleagues, academic leaders, industry experts, scholars, and dear participants from across the world, a very warm and gracious welcome to each one of you. It is with immense pride and great pleasure that, as I, Dean in charge of VITAP School of Business, extend my heartfelt welcome to the 5th International Conference on Innovation and Sustainable Business Practice in the Digital Era. At the very foundation of our journey stands the visionary leadership of Dr. G. Vishwanathan, whose relentless commitment to excellence has built institutions that inspire innovation, integrity, and global impact. I also express my deep gratitude to our esteemed Vice President, Dr. Shankar Vishwanathan, Dr. Shekhar Vishwanathan, and Dr. G.V. Selvam, along with our respected AVP Madam, Ms. Kadambari, and Executive Director, Dr. Sandhya Pentareddy, for their unwavering support in fostering a culture of academic rigor and global engagement. We are also privileged to be guided by the dynamic leadership of our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Arunmozhi Varman, whose vision continues to propel VITAP toward new frontiers of excellence. He is a man of strategic vision, having transformational leadership. Give a big applause to our Vice Chancellor. Yeah. In absentia, I also extend a warm welcome to Dr. Jagdish Chandra Mudiganti for his hardworking, inspirational leadership and invaluable contribution to our institutional growth. It is a moment of great pride and privilege to extend a very warm welcome to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Venkateswaran Ramakrishnan, General Manager at the Security Exchange Board of India, with over 2 decades of distinguished experience in financial regulations, policy analysis, and market surveillance. He has played a pivotal role in strengthening India's securities ecosystem and enhancing investor confidence. Sir, we are truly honored by your gracious presence today. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It is a great honor to welcome our guest of honor, Professor Francisco Pollucci from the University of Newcastle, Australia, an internationally acclaimed scholar in health economics and public policy. His work has significantly contributed to advancing equitable and efficient healthcare system worldwide. We are especially delighted to have him as we are especially delighted, and soon he will be an adjunct faculty for our MBA program, and we sincerely acknowledge his generous support for his conference. We also extend a warm welcome to Dr. Gurupreet, whose efforts have been instrumental in strengthening this valuable international collaboration. For the past 3 years, Dr. Francisco Pollucci is supporting VITAP School of Business, and consistently he is also, sponsoring with the sole and leather bags and all that. We also have an articulation with Newcastle University for transfer program. Please give a big applause to the great man. And I also extend a warm welcome to Professor Edward Sweeney, Deputy Executive Dean at Harvard University, a globally respected thought leader in logistics and supply chain management. His contribution across academia and industry continue to shape the future of global supply chain. And also he will be an adjunct faculty for our MBA program, which is starting from June. Give a big applause to the great man. And I also welcome virtually, it's my pleasure to welcome Professor Arun Prasad Channakrishna Sugumar from Birmingham City University, who is online now, who is watching us, whose research in entrepreneurship, innovation, and business ecosystem enriches our understanding of dynamic and evolving market. Sir, thank you so much, and give a big applause to him. We are also delighted to welcome Professor Ernest Johnson from the University of Regina. Sir, we are honored by your presence. And in 1997, he is my faculty too. So give all the way, he is from Canada. Give a big applause to him. Yeah. So I take this opportunity to warmly welcome all the deans, associate deans, directors, program chairs, head of the department, faculty members, staff, and especially our great distinguished guest participants from academia and industry. And also a special mention I have to say here that my special appreciation goes to the passionate architects of this conference, Dr. Madhusmita Mohanty, Dr. Mas, Dr. Navaneethan, Dr. Prabhakar, whose dedication and intellectual energy have made ICISD'2026 a reality. Please give a big applause to the great personalities. And at the outset, I would like to welcome our sponsors, Tenali Double Hearts, Global Degrees, the Newcastle University, High Education, and President Education for their sponsors. To my dear colleagues, the committed faculty of VIT AP School of Business, please give a big applause to them. VSB faculty members. And also, I will be very thankful to my fellow Associate Dean, Dr. Usha. Can you please stand up? Dr. Usha Sheshatri. Yeah. Give a big applause. And my ex-Dean, Dr. Raghavendra, whose contribution we never forget. Please stand up, Professor Raghavendra, sir. My operational heads, okay. The program chair of MBA, Dr. Ishwar Agamat, can you please stand up? And I also welcome the program chair for BBA, Dr. Shoma Shekhar. Please give a big applause. Okay. I think he got a good fan base, yeah. And also Dr. Gopala Krishnan, program chair of BCom. Give a big applause. So thank you. You have to give a special applause to our vibrant research scholar. Can you give a big applause to the intellectuals here? And this one you have to give a massive applause because it's for you and especially our enthusiastic student, prospective manager, the spirit of VSB. I extend my heartfelt welcome to you all. Give a big applause to all of you. I also acknowledge the invaluable contributions of our media, technical teams sitting there, working tirelessly behind the scenes, and so also 360-degree people from night they are working. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are not merely inaugurating a conference, we are igniting a global movement of ideas, a movement that transcends border, a movement that challenges convention, a movement that inspires action. We live in an era defined by rapid digital transformation, constant disruption, and an urgent need for sustainable progress. In such a world, the role of academia, industry, and policymakers become more critical than ever. This conference is not just a platform for presenting research. It is a space for meaningful dialogue, bold thinking, and collaborative problem solving. It is where the knowledge meets purpose and ideas transforms into an impact. So give a big applause to the external participants from other institutions, academia and industry. And also to some of our international delegates, I extend a special welcome. Your presence reflects the strength of global partnership and reinforces our shared commitment to advancing knowledge beyond boundaries. At VIT AP School of Business, we believe education must go beyond classroom. We are committed to nurturing leaders who are not only competent professionals but also responsible global citizens. Leaders who innovate with purpose and lead with integrity. Over the next 2 days, I encourage each one of you engage deeply, think critically, collaborate openly, and innovate responsibly. Let this conference inspire you to question the status quo, explore new possibilities, and co-create solutions for a more sustainable and inclusive future. future. As we embark on this intellectual journey together, I am confident that ICISD'2026 will serve as a catalyst for transformative ideas, meaningful collaboration, and lasting impact. Once again, I warmly welcome you all to VIT AP School of Business. I wish you a highly productive, insightful, and memorable conference experience. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Every conference is shaped by vision long before it is seen on stage. To shape the intent, architecture, and intellectual scope of ICISD 2026, I now invite Dr. Madhusmita Mohanty, convener of the conference, to enlighten us about the conference.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Founder and Chancellor, sir, Vice Presidents, Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, respected Registrar, sir, respected Chief Guest, distinguished guest of honors from University of Newcastle, Heriot-Watt University, Birmingham City University, revered guests from University of Regina, Canada, esteemed Dean Academic Research, respected Dean, Directors, Delegates, faculties from VIT and other institutions, research scholars, and my dear students. A very warm and pleasant morning to all of you. It's my immense pleasure and honor as the convener of ICISD 26 to welcome you to the International Conference on Innovation and Sustainable Business Practices in the Digital Era, organized by VIT School of Business at VIT University. About this conference, we are really proud to host this prestigious conference in collaboration with globally reputed institutions including University of Newcastle, Australia, Heriot-Watt University, and Birmingham City University. This partnership is not only a collaboration for this conference, rather it is strengthening our academic exchange, joint research initiatives, and international exposures for our scholars and faculties. Today marks not only mere inauguration of conference, rather we are beginning the journey towards the global. In today's rapidly transforming this digital economy, businesses are no longer evaluated solely on profitability. They are increasingly assessed on responsibility, resilience, and governance, innovation, and sustainability. ICISD 26 has been thoughtfully conceptualized with a clear vision to bridge academia and industry, to encourage interdisciplinary research, to deliberate on sustainable and ethical business practices, to promote global academic collaboration, to generate actionable knowledge for the digital economy. This year, ICISD 26 has attracted approximately 243 scholars, participants, and policymakers from India and abroad. It is truly a global gathering with participation from countries including USA, UK, Australia, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, and Canada. Such international representations underscores the importance of collaborative research and collective solutions to address the global business challenges. This year we have total different theme of our conference are AI application in business, finance, human resource management, marketing management, and operation management. Across these 2 days, we are conducting 10 technical sessions. Day 1, we have 6 parallel online sessions and 2 offline sessions. Day 2, we have 2 offline sessions. Approximately 49 participants are presenting in person in our campus, with sessions chaired by distinguished national and international experts from various different organizations from AP as well as globe. From each specialization, best paper awards we are selecting, as well as along with that we are also giving one prestigious overall ICISD 26 best paper award for this ICISD 26. We are really privileged to have eminent dignitaries and keynote speakers with us for these 2 days. Sri Venkateswaran Ramakrishnan, the General Manager, SEBI, Professor Francisco Police, Newcastle Business School, Australia, the Professor Edward Training, Edinburgh Business School, Heriot-Watt University, Scotland, Professor Arun Sukumar Sir, Birmingham City University, UK, Dr. Bhanu Prakash Reddy Valla, Partner and Director, Plural Technology, Professor Ernest Johnson, University of Regina, Canada, Dr. P. Kanaya, Director, MICM, we are having with us Their presence enriches this conference with global academic insights and industry relevance. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to the esteemed sponsors, Global Degrees, Denali Doublers, High-Ed, President Education. We also acknowledge our distinguished publication partners, the IUP Journal of Corporate Governance, which is AVDC category, CRC Press, Trailer and Francis, one book chapter, complete edited book publication, Scopus Index, Springer, Scopus Index book series, International Journal of Consumer Studies, Wiley Online Scopus and Web of Science Index, InterScience Publications. Their generous support and collaboration have made ICISD'2026 possible. I sincerely thank our Honorable Chancellor Sir, Vice President, Vice Chancellor Sir, Registrar Sir, Dean BSB for their continuous encouragement and visionary leadership in enabling this unique international collaboration. I also deeply appreciate the relentless efforts of our organizing committee, reviewers, faculty coordinators, student volunteers, whose dedication has ensured the successful organization of this event. As we are beginning today the first session, inaugural session of this ICISD'2026, we are confident that this deliberation over the next 2 days will generate impactful insights and long-lasting collaboration among all of us. With this great pride and optimism, I once again welcome you to all to ICISD'2026. May this conference be inspiring, enriching and rewarding for everyone present here. Thank you very much. Welcome to ICISD'2026.
Thank you, ma'am, for outlining the spirit and structure of the conference. We now move to a moment of symbolic significance. The lighting of ceremonial lamp marks the invocation of knowledge, clarity, and collective purpose. I request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly join us for the lamp lighting ceremony. We are privileged to host distinguished scholars whose work transcends borders and disciplines. It is now my honor to introduce Professor Francisco Paolucci, a globally renowned academician whose work bridges economic analysis, public policy, and sustainable system design. Professor Paolucci serves as Professor of Health Economics and Policy at the University of Newcastle, Australia, and the University of Bologna, Italy. Over more than 2 decades of experience, Professor Paolucci's scholarship has been dedicated to enhancing policy frameworks that improve equity, efficiency, and access across public systems. His expertise has informed major public health reforms, including serving as a chief advisor on health reforms to the Minister of Health in Chile, and advising governments on national budget allocation and risk-adjusted financing. Professor Paolucci has published extensively in top-ranking international journals, edited special issues with contributors from over 25 countries, and contributed to evidence-based insights on pandemic responses, social systems, and governance. Please join me in welcoming Professor Francisco Paolucci to the stage. Professor Paolucci, we are honored by your presence. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here again, indeed for the third time. It's truly a pleasure to be part of the journey of this fantastic institution, and in particular, our connection with the business school has deepened over the past years. So I'm very thankful to the Chancellor, to the Dean, and to the fantastic team here at VIT. And it's great to see many friendly faces already, and new faces, fantastic faces, inspiring faces in the students that are here today. So, distinguished guests, respected colleagues, industry leaders, scholars, and students, let me begin with a short story about the connection that brings me to reflect on this conference today, which is in fact the fifth that you convene in this institution. I was fortunate enough to work in many different contexts, countries, and cultures, and advise governments and regional health systems, national systems, insurers, and industry on what I'm passionate about, which is healthcare. And as you know, I promised myself I was not going to mention COVID today, and I won't. But we have been facing since few years a real, incredible, and challenging crisis in health and healthcare systems worldwide. Increasing patients' needs, demands of all kinds, increasing scarce resources, limited staff, brain drain, increasing costs, growing also climate-related health issues. And when speaking with administrators and government officials and industry in dealing, how they've been dealing with this crisis, there is one global common word that comes to their mind, which is, this is unsustainable. We're overwhelmed. We can't cope with it. And at the same time, visiting these institutions over time, in recent months, coming back to them, some light starts appearing at the end of this long tunnel. And the new word that it's in the mouths of everybody is transformation, in particular, AI-driven transformation. What we can observe more and more so in countries, developed ones, and in healthcare as in many other industries, is that these applications are fundamental and sit at the core of sustainability today. And many of these countries that are implementing them at a rapid pace in every part of the world are really starting seeing results in tackling waiting times, in addressing patient needs in a faster and sometimes even better way. Of course, the journey is long, but we're starting seeing the applications of technology, AI-driven transformation into improving better health and patient outcomes. So that series of moments in time have really crystallized something for me, that AI and technology is not just about automation and increasing profits, but it really is about reimagining the word sustainability and what it actually can mean for us. Today we are at the fifth time in this fantastic international conference on innovation and sustainable business practices in a digital area, so really you're going at the heart of digitalization and artificial intelligence transformation. And I would say that this conference, hosted by the Business School at VIT AP, in collaboration with our University of Newcastle and many other institutions, really reflects something profound, which is a recognition that innovation and sustainability are no longer separate conversations. They are the same, very same conversation. I would say that this is even more so in the case of India, not merely as an adopter of digital technologies, but in a way in which we are rethinking and defining it. And I remember very vividly, in the middle of the pandemic, the immense and tremendous space of innovation, in particular in digital health and healthcare spaces. There are many examples that stem in any industry, and industries in fact, but telemedicine clearly has a real strong space and attention in these countries with incredible results. At the same time, we can't forget the challenges that we're facing globally and in particular in India, and I think it's important we remind ourselves that these challenges are very much also applying to the healthcare sector. We can't forget the importance of making these technologies available for the most vulnerable. It's critical to increase our protection and definitely healthcare access and the degree in which we are urbanizing our societies and our countries. It's very much at the center on how this will affect public health going forward. I believe that if we can make sustainability and innovation connection go hand in hand, if we can make it happen here, we can really make it happen almost anywhere globally. So I think the conference that you've thought about really goes at the heart of this, and it can have important conversations that will matter in time globally. I would like to say a few more words about sustainability and its place in healthcare. It's not only about financial aspects. I'm an economist, I love those aspects, of course, but it's really much about what we want technology and sustainability to look like in the many facets that sustainability has. Sustainability for the workforce, how we can create a new form of employment in healthcare that can address the needs and the growing demands in India and other countries. How we can reach groups in societies that are sparse and often more vulnerable to sudden pandemics or bursts of infectious diseases. And without forgetting this very concept of One Health, which is becoming very important for countries like India, because health cannot be addressed in isolation. We have to connect it with the environmental issues and also the animal and pharmaceutical industries and the way in which we produce food and make it accessible to more and more people. AI is very central to this important agenda, and it will be crucial in connecting these so far very disconnected and silos-based clusters. I was fortunate enough to work very recently, in fact we just finished working with the World Bank on a project here in India, together with many of your finest institutions, from the Public Health Foundation to NCDC, the National Institute of Health, and many of your state governments. And I have learned about your great capacity, great capability, great adaptability to these very ever-changing and challenging settings that you are experiencing in healthcare in particular. I would say that health systems, yours like ours, are stretched in many ways, but I've also seen a lot of very many remarkable improvements in the way we are thinking about modernizing, changing, and utilizing technology to serve the Indian population and to plan for the growth of the healthcare sector as many other sectors in India. With a key finding, we really need to train individuals from business, from many, let's say, applied business disciplines to be more sensitive and sensible in addressing and understanding the needs that are related to the environment and healthcare. And at the same time, we need to upskill the healthcare workforce with more business insights and acumen. Otherwise, technology will be very localized and not realizing its full potential. So I leave you today until the next session in a little bit, where I'll speak more about a new partnership, of which I'm very proud. It was an incredibly learning journey for me. I leave you just by telling you how pleased I am to see so many of you every year more with this light in your eyes, to grasp and grab all the opportunities that this university, this school will give you, and hopefully that we from Newcastle University can provide you to really guide you in this transformative journey and really to help you in being impactful global citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful reflections. Our next guest of honor is Professor Edward Sweeney, Edinburgh Business School, Harriet-Port University, United Kingdom. Professor Edward Sweeney is Deputy Executive Dean at Edinburgh Business School. He has worked and lectured in over 70 countries in Europe, North America, and Asia. He is an experienced researcher with over 200 publications, including books and book chapters, papers in international peer-reviewed academic journals, and articles in leading trade publications. He is a member of international editorial boards of several leading academic journals. In 2015, he was elected by his peers as Chairman of Logistics Research Network, which is part of Chartered Institutes of Logistics and Transport, a UK's premier network for academics, researchers, practitioners, and other interested individuals working in the area of logistics, supply chain, and operations management. In addition to his core teaching and research work, he has also worked with many of the world's leading companies over the years in various capacities. I request Professor Edward Sweeney to address the gathering. Over to you.
Vice-Chancellor, Dean, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me commence my remarks by saying two things to you. Firstly, thank you, most sincerely from me. As always, when I come to India, I've been welcomed so warmly by everyone. I am privileged to have been in this country almost 40 times. I think this is my 37th visit, something like that. And the warmth of the welcome never changes. So thank you very much indeed for that. And the second thing I want to say is welcome to you. Welcome to this really interesting event. I can see that a huge amount of effort has gone into curating the event. And by way of introduction, what I'd like to do is just perhaps identify 4 keywords or key phrases in the title of the event, which I think sets the scene and gives us a very good flavour for what we can expect over the next day and a half. The first key word to me is the word international. We've already heard that we have a very interesting profile in terms of the papers and the presentations and the delegates from different parts of Asia, from North America and from Europe. And I think that international profile is important because many of the challenges with which we are trying to grapple are truly global challenges. And the international complexion of the conference, I think, reflects the fact that during the late part of the 20th century in particular, and as we moved into the early part of the 21st century, we saw this major change in business in terms of globalization, at least internationalization of business, if not globalization of business. The biggest single change which I've seen in my almost 40 years of working in business and in supply chains is Back in the 1980s, when I graduated university, the companies with which I was working and the supply chains in which I was working were largely local, at best regional in complexion. These days, pretty much all of the organizations with which I work and all of the supply chains in which I work are international and in some cases genuinely global. So I think the challenges are global and the international dimension of the conference reflects that. The second key word to me is the word innovation. I think the word innovation is probably my favorite word in the business vocabulary. Innovation has its roots in the Latin word, from the Latin language, the word novus, and the word novus means new. So innovation is about trying to find new and better ways of doing things right across our business and right across our supply chains. Now, the one thing I do want to say to you, which I think is important, is that traditionally we've tended to use the word innovation with reference to products. You know, we'll talk about company X has designed and launched a new innovative product. That's important, but what I'm much more interested in as a supply chain professional is innovation in our processes. All of our processes right through the whole extended supply chain end to end. So I'm delighted that innovation is a key focus for this event. Second, we have the word sustainability. I don't want to say too much about that in my keynote talk tomorrow. I'll say a lot more about sustainability, but I do need to say that we need to think about sustainability not just in the context of environmental degradation, but we also need to think about the social and economic dimensions. So I'm pleased that the way in which the conference has been set up places a very strong emphasis on that kind of, if you like, triple bottom line approach to sustainability. And finally, we've got the idea of the digital era. And you know, the reality is that over the last decades, we have seen incredibly fast, rapid development in terms of technology, particularly in terms of information technology. And I remain absolutely convinced that with the correct deployment of this technology, we have the potential to do things in much better ways. So I think one of the things that we will talk about in this conference is the way in which digitalization can work to help not just short-term business performance, but also can help us to address the wider sustainability agenda in all of its facets. Finally, at Edinburgh Business School, our mission statement is about being global leaders in accessible, practice-orientated business, education and research. In short, we want to make a difference. The reason why I'm so proud to be here at this unique event is that I think all of us collectively are here for the same reason. We all want to make a difference and to make a positive difference, and in that context I wish you well over the coming days. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, sir. We are equally honored to welcome Professor Arun Sukumar from Birmingham City University, United Kingdom. Arun Sukumar is a professor of digital business innovation at Birmingham City University. His research interests are in technology-based transformation and entrepreneurship, especially in exploring societal transformation and sustainability achieved through the study of complex socio-technical systems. Professor Sukumar has published more than 70 articles in ranked journals and has secured and delivered projects that focus on entrepreneurial route to energize socio-economic development. He has worked with Coventry City Council on projects identifying innovation strengths in the region and developed profiling tools to assess business for their capacity to innovate. He is a known author, reviewer, and member of editorial boards. Professor Arun Sukumar will address us online. So, over to you.
Hello, can you see and hear me?
Yes.
Am I audible? Yes. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for organizing this event and thanks a lot for inviting me as well. Let me start off conference together. It's my pleasure and honor to be a part of this conference. This conference actually provides an important opportunity for researchers and both early career as well as experienced researchers to showcase their research work. But coming to the main agenda, the topics of this conference are quite interesting to me, and it actually speaks to me in a sense that, well, it's an area I've been working for nearly about 6-7 years now. What we are undergoing currently is what we call as a sustainable digital shift. Previously, we were operating under the notion of digital first mantra, where we were looking for speed and scale for disruption. But as we come into 2026, the foundations of these cracks are becoming more visible. Technology without a purpose is just a noise, in my opinion. And innovation without sustainability is becoming more of a liability. Today, our mandate is to actually transition to sustainable digital work. So this is not about doing less harm, but it is about using the most powerful tools we have created, for example, generative AI, machine learning, etc., to actually build a regenerative economy. In the current era, triple bottom line is kind of no longer a static report. It's actually a live data feed, which actually measures resource intelligence and augments our precision capability. When we integrate this, we actually move away from business as usual to something called as transformational entrepreneurship. Transformational entrepreneurship is a concept where we have been researching and working for the past 10 decades. It is actually a systematic intervention and development of pathways which actually feed into this triple bottom line. For example, in Birmingham City University, we look at how can we use digital technologies to convert plastic waste into reusable materials. So, for example, current projects we do, we kind of explore how we can change carpets to actually 3D printing filaments, or we can look at extracting materials from gym equipment to more novel uses. So we use technology, especially generative AI, to actually see how these can be converted. It's the papers presented here over the next few decades. I'm sure it will actually be interesting. It will work towards us helping us to understand where this particular sustainability, the convergence of sustainability, technology, and as well as innovation actually are moving forward in the next era. In the future, I hope that we actually ask the questions more specifically. Can we use the models to predict, but also can we use the models to tell us how we build sustainable futures? I think that is where the key question lies. We do have the expertise of the technologies currently, we do have innovation, but how do we actually bring the convergence of all these things in a very purposeful manner to actually look at societal problems, to actually address societal issues and see how they can lead to long-term viability. In terms of researchers, I'm very happy that in the sense that both early career researchers and experienced researchers will have an opportunity to present their work, and it actually tells us what's happening in the scenarios in India and abroad as well. For researchers who are starting their career, this conference would be an ideal step for you to showcase your work. It helps you to test your offer, it helps test your ideas, and also get some valuable feedback which can help you to shape up your academic careers. I think for experienced researchers, this is an area to push the boundaries of your research. This is an opportunity for you guys to act as a mentor, to actually develop friendships, and also look for further opportunities which will help you to build your career further. I think all in all, this conference actually provides an excellent opportunity for networking. It's a great place to meet friends, it's a great place to actually share ideas and develop lifelong friendships. So, in a large sense, putting such a big conference is not an easy task. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of commitment and resources. So I do congratulate the Dean and the Vice Chancellor and the whole team for actually putting this together in a very short time. I hope for the next editions I can be there physically. This edition I couldn't be there, but hopefully for the next editions I can be there physically. But once again, I do congratulate and thank you all of you for putting together this wonderful conference. And I am excited to see how the conference of the congregation of innovation, sustainability, and technology is actually shaping up in an Indian and abroad context. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Minister, for your wonderful thoughts as a guest of honor in this international conference. As you said, next time you will see physical release, ICISD'2026. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Leadership defines institutional character and vision determines its trajectory. At the ITAP University, both are reflected in the leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Arun Moli sir. His leadership is marked by strategic foresight, academic integrity, and an unwavering commitment to research excellence. It is now my distinct honor to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor of the ITAP University to deliver the presidential address.
Distinguished guests, respected faculty, industry partners, my dear student friends, and members of our university community. Very good morning to all of you. Yeah. My heartfelt welcome to all of you for this, the 5th International Conference on Innovation and Sustainable Business Practices in the Digital Era. So, I joined with all our dignitaries for setting the contest and also highlighting the importance of the sustainable business practices in the digital era. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank our Honorable Visionary Leadership, the founder and chancellor, Dr. G. Vishwanathan, was shaped the organization and inspire and innovate and lead into the greater heights. Also, I express my deep gratitude to our esteemed vice presidents and the top management for their unwavering support and fostering the culture of academic rigor and the global engagement of the scale. For our distinguished guests, the VIT group of organization has started in 1984 and leading in the front from the higher education institutions in the part of the world. And VIT AP has established in 2017 and now it has reached the level of 19,105 student capacity and nearly 500 plus faculty and 250 plus the staffs and 1,000 plus the supporting staffs for great institutions. On behalf of the VIT AP community and also our top management, I welcome all our guests, the chief guests of today's international conference, Mr. Venkateshwaran Ramakrishnan, the general manager at Securities and the Exchange Board of India, an eminent professional known for his expertise in the financial market and the regulatory excellence, and his significant contribution to the strengthening India's securities ecosystem. Welcome, sir, on behalf of the VIT AP University. Also, I welcome our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Francisco Pelosi. So, yes, nicely addressed and he has contributed a lot for the public health and the economic policies worldwide. And in fact, he is also mentioned that he has joined with the World Bank and then looking into the various projects in this part of country. And thank you very much. You are also adjunct faculty for our VIT Business School and considered for sponsoring the conference and also supporting greatly for the ICISD'2026. Thank you, sir, for your kind presence today. Also, we thank our guest of honor, Professor Edward Sweeney, Deputy Executive Dean, Edinburgh Business School and Heriot-Watt University of the UK. He is a distinguished academician and he has over 4 decades of the experience and then 200 plus publication on his credit, and he is going to give the deep insight of his credible work, and he is going to exchange all his ideas. Thank you, sir, for your kind presence today. Also, we thank our guest of honor, the Professor Arun Sukumar. Just now he has addressed from the Birmingham City University from the United Kingdom. Professor, thank you for your kind presence through the virtually and also supporting us for the conference. We also welcome Professor Ernest Johnson from the University of Regina, Canada, for his kind presence today. I take this the opportunity for the entire VIT Business School, the Dean, Associate Dean, Director, and all our VIT Deans, the Program Chairs of the VIT Business Schools, and the Head of the Departments, and Deans and the Directors, Dean Academic Research for their kind presence today. My special appreciation to all the convener and the co-conveners of the conference for their great contributions. It is both honor and the profound responsibility to address you today on the subject. It is a very important topic brought by the business school in collaboration with the partners university from the Newcastle, Birmingham, and Heriot-Watt and Edinburgh School. It is truly an international level of the platform to address innovation and the sustainable business practices in the digital era. Friends, we are all standing in the defining moment in the history. Okay? The convergence of the digital transformation and the sustainability is not merely a trend, it is a turning point for the humanity. You have to think about that. We are living in the age of the artificial intelligence, big data. People have addressed the several gigabits of the data in every second. In fact, the energy we cannot think about, it is already consuming 1/3 of our normal consuming energy in the digital era, only going to the data centers. Okay, so you have to see that the automation and the global connectivity because of the big data generated in every seconds. Organizations such as, and we need to demonstrate how the innovation can disrupt the industries, which can simultaneously addressing the environmental as well as these societal challenges. All of you please understand, technology alone is not the solution. Okay? How consciously we are addressing the environmental as well as the societal challenges. That is the most important thing. The purpose behind the international conference is to address in the digital era, the rapid technological development, whatever the AI we are talking about, AGI or ASI or whatever the OpenAI platform for the generative AI and the multi-agentic AIs and all the platform for the automation or the IoT and the blockchain, how the global connectivity and the platform is going to address in the economy and also the data-driven decision makings, changing the customer expectations on the digital era, and we have to start our innovation cycles to bring into the lab to the market. Okay, companies in the global levels, whether it is the Microsoft or the Google or the OpenMind or the big giants like IBM and the various other industries, demonstrating how the digital innovation can disrupt the traditional industries while embedding the sustainability into the core strategies. So digital transformation enables the organizational mainly to improve the operational efficiency. That's the main purpose in which we have moved towards the digital era, reduce the waste and the emissions, create the smart products and the services, enhance the supply chain transparency, develop the new revenue models. It means sharing the economy and the subscription. But we need to see there is a other end also when we can optimize this supply chain, reduce the waste and predict the climate risk, build the smarter cities. We also facing a lot of escalating the global challenges. Climate change, that is one of the important in the digital era. Resource depletion, majorly the social inequality. That is where we need to address, and the ethical dilemmas surrounding the data and the artificial intelligence. So the framework such as the Sustainable Development Goals, when we talk about for the SDGs, which keep reminding us the economic growth must go hand in hand with the societal equality and also the environmental stewardship. So why the conference is important in the today's context of the digital era? The stakeholders, including the investors, customers, regulators, employees, and the universities, they have to be demanding with respect to the environmental accountability, ethical supply chain, transparent reporting, circular economy models, and social equity and the inclusion. So sustainable business practices now directly influence the brand reputation, risk management, and the long-term profitability. So here the universities have a critical role in the transformation. That's the reason we all join together, and then we are debating, and we are coming out with the lot of the discussions through the panels and also for the seminars and the various other things. We are not just the centers of the knowledge, we are the incubators of the ideas, conscience, and the leadership. So it is within our lecture halls and the research labs and the future entrepreneurs. We have to think in terms of the policy makers, and all our the engineers and the business leaders are truly contributing towards this innovation, which is guided with the responsibility, ethics, and the sustainability. To our the student friends, you are the digital generation. You think in the various algorithm, LLM models, and collaborate across all the branch of the science and the technology, and innovate without the fear of the boundaries. But I urge you, innovate not only for the profit but for the purpose. Okay? Build the enterprise and create the value not only for the shareholders but for the society and the planet. For the faculty colleagues and the research scholars, I request all the science and the technology level of the faculty, in collaboration with the management faculties, engineering and the environmental science, data analytics with the ethics. The challenge of the digital era cannot be solved in silos. They require collaboration, they require creativity, and they require courage. That is the reason it is truly a multidisciplinary topic that what the business school is brought into that. I appeal to the organizer. It could have been better if you also add one panel discussion brought into the various disciplines. So I look forward that the valuable addition in the conference, so it will give the more impact and also reaching out to all our the people. To our the industry partners and the friends, sustainable innovation is no longer optional. Okay? It is a strategic imperative. Organizations that embed the environment, social, and the governance principles into their digital transformation strategies will not only survive, they will lead. As a university, we commit ourselves promoting the research in the green technologies and the sustainable digital systems, encouraging the entrepreneurship that prioritize circular economy models, integrating sustainability in every academic program. It need not to be a separate level of the points, building partnership that create a measurable social impact. In fact, I greatly appreciate the VIT Business School for bringing such a wonderful partnership into the program to build around the curriculum as a sustainability in co-creation with the Birmingham and Harriet, Watt, Edinburgh, and Newcastle, and all the university partners. Let us remember, innovation without this sustainability is a short-lived. Okay? Sustainability without innovation is insufficient. So the future belongs to those who integrate both innovation and the sustainability. So digital era offers us the immense power. The question before us is, it's a profound, how will we use it? Let us choose innovate responsibly. Let us choose lead sustainably. Let us choose build the future where the technology serves humanity and not other way around. Together, we can shape the digital economy that is inclusive, resilient, and sustainable. I wish the conference organizer for setting up the wonderful platform. I understand that there are 246 level of the participants, and now finally they have narrowed down the 49 level of the presentations as a part of this the deliberations. I wish entire level of the conference organizing team for the resounding success for the conference. Thanks the opportunity provided by the VSB and also our the collaborating organization to address this gathering. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inspiring words. Now we are deeply privileged to welcome our chief guest, Sri Venkateshwaran Ramakrishnan, General Manager, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Sri Venkateshwaran Ramakrishnan is presently General Manager in the Interregulatory Interface Group in the Department of Economic and Public Policy Analysis at Security and Exchange Board of India. Sri Venkateshwaran Ramakrishnan earned his Masters in Public Administration with specialization in Economic Policy and Management from Columbia University in the city of New York after securing a fellowship. He is since then one of the program's ambassadors in South Asia. He is also a fellow member at the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, a Masters in Economics, a postgraduate diploma holder in Securities Laws, and postgraduate diploma holder in Goods and Services Tax. He was a member of the Indirect Taxation Committee of the ICMAI during 2022 and 2023. He has been member of the Sustainability Standards Board of the ICMAI since 2023 and 24. In NCB, Sri Venkateshwaran Ramakrishnan has worked in the Office of the Chairman, Integrated Surveillance Department, and Department of Economic and Policy Analysis. He also served as an adjudicating officer in SEBI. He had been on deputation to the Financial Stability and Development Council for 2 years. Sri Venkateshwaran Ramakrishnan has undergone in-person trainings at Asian Development Bank, IMF institutes at India and Singapore, Chicago University and World Bank. So we request you to address the gathering. Thank you.
Dr. P. Arulmozhivarman, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Francisco Pelosi, Professor Edward Sweeney, Dr. Arun Kumar Shivakumar, Dr. Madhusmita Mohanty, Dr. Navneeta Krishnan, members of the founders as well as the management, members of academia, industry groups, and my dear students. Good morning, namaskar. Let me begin the address by congratulating the VIP School of Business, VSB, for having conceptualized and continuously held every year a conference, international conference on innovation and sustainable business practices in the digital era, ICISD. As we have seen in the theme video, climate change is a global phenomenon that everybody, every nation, every stakeholder has to address. I will just give one statement to put that perspective. The last 10 years were the hottest on record. So this is actually, in one sentence, if I have to summarize what climate change is all about. And when I have to look into the themes, sustainability, innovation, digital development, I will put before you, because I will devote my time, because I am seeing more students. So I will devote my time to familiarize yourself with the Indian scenario. So to begin, India has put the goal of Vikasit Bharat, developed India by 2047. And we also have, in the nationally defined contributions, set the target of net zero by 2070. So to reach those goals, the financing for climate action for India alone, starting from 2025, way up to 2070, is US dollar 22.7 trillion. Now, Vice Chancellor mentioned about the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. Subsequent to adoption of SDGs in 2015, India's Ministry of Corporate Affairs, they came out with the National Guidelines on Responsible Business Conduct, NGRBC, which are based on 9 principles which are mapped to the SDGs. Subsequently, SEBI has come out with, Securities and Exchange Board of India has come out with a BRSR format, Business Responsibility and Responsibility Reporting, mandating the top 1,000 companies by market capitalization to report on the ESG parameters, and it consists of 3 sections. Section A is general disclosure, section B is management and process disclosure, and the most important of all, the section C is principle-wise performance disclosure. And those principles are nothing other than the 9 principles mapped to the SDGs which are there in the National Guidelines for Responsible Business Conduct. The second development that I can talk is about the other fellow regulators. Reserve Bank of India also has come out with draft disclosure guidelines for its regulated entities on addressing financial risk from climate change. IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, also has specified the ESG framework for the insurers. Now, when I spoke about the finance required, so if we have to mobilize 22.7 trillion US dollar, on an average every year we have to mobilize in the range of 300 to 400 billion US dollars. So what are the mechanisms that are available already? So there is sovereign green bonds. Now, this month alone, 1st of February, we listened about the union budget. So there is every year Government of India raising resources through issuance of sovereign green bonds, and also Government of India has notified the draft National Climate Finance Taxonomy. So comments are being taken into account. We have not seen the final taxonomy being notified, but that is work in progress. But draft taxonomy has already been notified. SEBI has put in place green debt securities, which include the blue bonds, yellow bonds, transition bonds, and also ESG debt securities, which includes the social bonds, sustainability linked bonds, and all. SEBI also has come out with a framework for social stock exchanges, wherein social enterprises, both not-for-profit organizations as well as for-profit social enterprises, can raise resources, including by issuance of zero coupon, zero principal instruments. There is the option as investors in the market for each one of us today to invest in the ESG schemes, which are based on 6 strategies offered by the domestic mutual fund industry. So if this much is what actually we have put in place, I understand the major part of this conference, starting from today afternoon, extending all the way up to tomorrow, is listening to the findings of the research that has been done on the theme of this conference. When I was just discussing with the organizers about what should be the emphasis for my address, I have been told this address is being listened to by the academia as well as the students, and they will be looking at opportunities not only for research but also for practice in the field of sustainability. Let me now deal on the evolving areas of research on sustainability in India. Now, when I am getting into that one, I want to tell you that is the context in which I gave you the goals that as a nation we have set forward and the financing requirements that we require to reach those goals first by 2050 and subsequently by 2047 and subsequently by 2070. So broadly, we need to take into account the interactions between climate change and economic growth, investment or the gross fixed capital formation, trade deficit, fiscal deficit, and impact also on employment. So climate change on one side and all the other variables on the other side. You can choose all or pick among them. If I have to elaborate on, why is it like that? As you know, we have set for ourselves a target of Vikasit Bharat by 2047. From about $4 trillion, $4.13 trillion, which is our GDP in 24-25, we are targeting a GDP of $30 trillion by 2047. And to ensure that, the growth is not only sustainable but also inclusive. So the government stand of the growth inclusive is to make it even percolate to the farmers, the poor people, the youth, and also the women. A quantitative parameter that is being put forward to ensure that it is inclusive is that the per capita GDP will be in the range of $15,000 to $18,000. So economic growth in the context of climate change, as we also have seen, I told this is among the hottest years on record. So even in that context also, and we saw in the theme video, even within a gap of 1 year, how floods have affected Vijayawada and Punjab. So we have seen that we have grown robustly even in the context of a climate change. And impact on economic growth, if we are able to reach, and which we can be very confident of, because very soon in 2027-28, we may see India become the third largest economy in the world. But the impact will be there on high levels of investment that is required. One of it is that if, this much of investment requirements, 22.7 trillion, all the way up to 2070, it can take a big hit on consumption. Because high levels of investment means consumption is crowded out. So what effect it will have? I am just leaving the thought there. You people can actually think about that one. One more indicator, where I feel that, the impact on growth because of climate change will not be that much a concern for India is also because when I said we are growing so robustly, we are today accounting for 15% of the global growth, India's growth alone. Second is that now all the growth, the prime driver of growth today is services sector. But if you look at the share of the three sectors, primary, secondary, and tertiary, manufacturing has held steady since the new economic policy. So manufacturing has held steady, services has grown robustly, whereas agriculture share has come down. Now, going forward from today to the 2047 and 2070, there will be lot of dynamics happening within manufacturing. But first point that I want to make is that given our emphasis on make in India, make for the world, and also because of the competitive advantage that we can gain in terms of clean energy based manufacturing or clean energy technologies. So manufacturing will definitely command a greater share in 2047 and in 2070, but certain industries, say for instance, I mean that's without any second thought, fossil fuel based industries, their share will come down, whereas green energy related industries, they will definitely witness a rise in their share compared to the levels that we are having today. And the milestone that we have set for manufacturing is the GVA will command 30% of the total economy-wide GVA by 2050. So this is actually the second topic that I would like you people to consider. Next is our foreign trade will become more resilient. Quite obvious, because today in our imports, fossil fuels are one of the largest components. We talk every day, or we listen at least 2-3 times in the week, if you look at the last 2 months, about whether we are buying from Russia or not, whether we are importing crude oil from Russia or not. So if we are actually able to move, and trust me, if you look at the total electricity generation capacity that is already installed in India today, more than 50% is on renewable energy based. So our coal based share of electricity generation in terms of installed capacity is already below 50%. So what I am trying to tell is, when we set the goal of completely, going for renewable energy, it's possible given the pace of growth that we have seen till now. But going forward, our lower import of fossil fuel based products, that can bring down the import bill, and also that can result in a favorable balance of trade as well as the current account position of the country. But there is a caveat there. That's why, when you are looking at it, it's not just one factor in isolation, but multiple factors that you have to consider. So one of it is that when we are looking at this much of capital requirement to become Vikasit Bharat as well as net zero, what is the role of foreign capital? How much of it is that we can finance with our domestic resources? How much of it we will have to finance from global capital, which is the foreign direct investment or the foreign portfolio investment, or whatever, India is one of the largest recipients of remittances every year. So the mix of that investment, whether it is predominantly domestic or predominantly global capital, this is the factor that you will have to consider. So the net result of the balance of trade will be dependent upon that also. Now, I mentioned already about the inclusive nature of growth that we are envisaging. But when we are witnessing this type of change, both in terms of climate change as well as in terms of a structural shift in our GDP, structural shift in our economy, we need to have in place policy support to support the lowest 40% of our population. So, what is the effect of the policies and what needs to be done to address the concern of the lower strata of the society? And like even during the period of COVID, we have successfully witnessed the benefit transfers, defined benefit transfers. We spoke about the digitization of the economy. Some of the things that stand out is the Aadhaar-based KYC, direct benefit transfer. You know, everything is getting credited to the bank accounts of the beneficiaries. UPI. Today we are transacting more. And another thing is that if you look at it, we don't today do account transfer using check. Mostly it is by NEFT, IMPS or RTGS. Now, last and most important is about the job creation. Definitely from agriculture, from fossil fuel based industries, there will be a shift of employment to sectors that strengthen the manufacturing, renewables, construction, logistics and all. We need to ensure that there is enough skilled labor available to address the requirements of our Indian economy to meet the goals of both Vikasit Bharat and net zero. This is actually the list of topics I can suggest for the academia as well as the students. And in concluding, I would like to take you to the motto of India when we chaired the G20, when India was, it was India's presidency of the G20. It's like, the last point that I'm trying to tell is we need to go back to our roots. India needs to go back to our roots, which was actually the motto. Motto was one earth, one family. But that actually is borrowed from one stanza from the Maha Upanishad, which is as follows. Ayam nija parovedi ganana lekhu chetasam udara charitanam tu vasudaiva kudumbagam. So, one earth, one family. If people are selfless, they don't distinguish things as what is relating to somebody and what belongs to the others. So that is where the concept of one family, it's just, one family, that's one earth. Then all the problems that we are having before us, they diminish in putting into practice of that noble thought. I wish this conference all the very success. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your thoughtful and inspiring words. Knowledge attains permanence when it is documented and disseminated. We now move to the release of ICISD'2026 conference proceedings, a compilation of research contributions that reflect methodological depth and contemporary relevance. May I request dignitaries on the dais and the convener of ICISD'2026 to kindly release the conference proceedings. Now I request dignitaries on the dais to please release MBA brochure. I request the dignitaries on the dais to please release MBA brochure. Thank you. We shall now felicitate our distinguished guest as a token of appreciation and respect for their time, scholarship and presence. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor and Dean VSB to please felicitate our chief guest, Sri Venkatraman Ramakrishnan. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor and Arun Sir, Dean VSB, to felicitate our guest of honor, Professor Francisco Pelosi. Thank you, sir. I now request Honorable Vice Chancellor and Dean VSB to felicitate our guest of honor, Professor Edward Sweeney. Thank you, sir. As we draw this inaugural ceremony to a close, gratitude must be expressed with sincerity and precision. And to do this, I invite Dr. Navanitha Krishnan, convener, ICISD 2026 BIT School of Business, to deliver a vote of thanks.
Respected Chief Guest, distinguished guest of honor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable Registrar, respected Deans, respected Dean, respected Associate Dean, Deans, Directors, Program Chairs, HODs, respected colleagues, esteemed dignitaries, dear participants and my dear scholars and students. I do deem it as my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for today's inaugural session of the 5th International Conference on Innovation and Sustainable Business Practices in the Digital Era, ICISD'2026. First and foremost, my sincere gratitude to our beloved founder Chancellor Dr. G. Vishwanathan Sir, philanthropist and an institution by himself, a man whose vision transcends generations. We thank him for his wisdom and direction which have been instrumental in shaping this university, the higher education ecosystem in the country and subsequently the conference as well. We are profoundly grateful for his visionary leadership. I am deeply thankful to our Vice Presidents, Dr. Shankar Vishwanathan Sir, Dr. Shekhar Vishwanathan Sir, Dr. G.V. Selvam Sir, who have been true pillars of support who constantly push us for the best. We would like to thank our Assistant Vice President, Ms. Kadambari Vishwanathan Ma'am, and the Executive Director, Dr. Sandhya Pentarati Ma'am. I thank them for their continuous guidance and motivating leadership. I would like to extend my gratitude to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. P. Arulmozhi Varman, without whose thoughtful guidance and mentorship this day would not have been possible. Your guidance have been a beacon of clarity and inspiration for all of us. Thank you for your thought-provoking speech as well, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks to Registrar Dr. Jagdish Chandra Mudiganti, who is in absence here, the man who ensures that the wheels of IITAP University keep running smoothly. His administrative support has been instrumental in ensuring the success of this event. It is my proud privilege to express my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Sri Venkateshwaran Ramakrishnan, General Manager, SEBI, for his powerful and thought-provoking address. Your words have given us not just insights, but a deeper sense of responsibility towards better future. Thank you so much, sir. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Professor Francesco Pelocci of University of Newcastle. We are truly honored and delighted to have you with us today. We sincerely thank you for your insightful and inspiring address. Newcastle have been a tremendous supporting partner throughout the conference and for the business school as well, and we are truly grateful. Thank you so much. To Professor Edward Sweeney of Heriot-Watt University, thank you for gracing the conference with your esteemed presence. Your address have greatly enriched this inaugural session. Thank you so much. I would like to thank Professor Arun Sukumar of Birmingham City University for his address, who provided us with the insightful perspective, despite it being too early in the morning in the UK. Thank you so much, sir. I extend my thanks to Dr. Arun Kumar Shivakumar, the Dean of Business School, for his motivating presence and mentorship. You have been a constant source of support and a guiding force for us for this conference and the convener team. Thank you so much, sir, for trusting us with this responsibility. It means a lot to us. Thank you so much. We would like to thank Dr. Usha Sheshadri ma'am, the Associate Dean, and my faculty colleagues who have been the backbone of this conference. All of your unwavering support and teamwork have been the key to this event's success. Thank you so much. I would like to thank the Deans, Associate Deans, Directors, Program Chairs, HODs, and faculty members who are present here. Thank you so much for your presence. I would like to thank the research scholars and the student volunteers for their support, shared efforts, commitments towards making this event a grand success. My sincere thanks to our students whose presence brought energy and vibrance to this conference today. Thank you so much. We hope you carry forward the insights and inspiration gained here to explore new ideas and opportunities. We express a sincere gratitude to all the participants for their overwhelming response, enthusiastic participation, and valuable research contributions. We are truly humbled by the number of submissions and the active participation from researchers across institutions and countries. I would like to place on record my heartfelt appreciation to Ms. Sophia, Secretary VSB, the Vice Chancellor's Office, the Registrar's Office, the CTS Office, the Finance Office, Guest Care Office, Purchase Office, Transportation Office, PRO Office, IR Office, SDC Office, the Photography and Videography team, SMC, and the technical team, and also the maintenance team 360° for their exceptional behind-the-scenes support. The dedication, coordination, and contribution from various offices have been the backbone of this event's smooth and successful execution. Last but definitely not the least, my heartfelt thanks to my mention to my convener team of ICISD'2026, Dr. Madhusmita Manti, Dr. Muhammad Abdul Mukit Mas, and Dr. Prabhagar N. It is impossible for me to thank you enough, but let me try anyway. The unwavering commitment to excellence, all the sleepless nights, endless emails, and untiring enthusiasm have ensured the smooth execution of this conference. Thank you so much, and I am proud to be part of this team. As we conclude the inaugural session, we do not mark the end of a ceremony, but a beginning of possibilities. Before we sign off, we would also like to thank our sponsors, Global Degree, President Education, Tenali Double Horse, Higher Ed. Our sincere thanks to our publication partners, CRC Press, Springer, Scopus, InterScience Publications, IUP Journal of Publications. Let this day not be remembered as just the inauguration of a conference, but as ignition of thoughts that will create impact beyond this hall, beyond this university, and beyond our time. If I had missed anyone, please note that it is purely unintentional, for many people have worked behind the scene to make this event a grand success, and we are thankful to each and every one of them. With deepest gratitude to everyone present here, thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. Have a great conference also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With this, we formally inaugurate ICISD'2026. I request the students to please be seated until the guests leave. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. I request the students to please be seated. For joining us. We have snacks arranged. Please exit from the back door and come back at sharp 12 p.m. Attendance will be taken between 12 to 12:15 p.m. Next, we have a keynote address by Professor Francisco Palocci. Please ensure that you are coming back by 12 p.m. sharp. Exit from the back door and please come back from the same door. Take snacks and please come back to the auditorium. Sharp 12 p.m. Please come back.